I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how much potential you've got. Talent alone is never enough. Hard work will outlast talent every single time. Some of you have been sitting back waiting for your talent to take you places. But I came here today to tell you, wake up. Talent without effort is useless. Talent might open the door, but hard work will keep you inside the room. You want to succeed? Then you better get ready to grind, because hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard. Talent is a gift, something you are born with. You didn't earn it, you didn't fight for it, and you didn't struggle to get it, it was just there. Maybe you were born with a natural ability to sing, to lead, to play sports, to think strategically, or to solve problems faster than others. But hear me loud and clear, talent alone has never been enough. You can be the most gifted person in the world, but if you don't develop discipline, resilience, and an unstoppable work ethic, your talent will remain just that raw, undeveloped, and eventually wasted. The difference between those who make it and those who don't is not talent, it's work. It's the late nights when others are sleeping. It's the early mornings when others are hitting the snooze button. It's the willingness to push yourself when nobody is watching, when there's no applause, no validation, and no immediate reward. Hard work is not a moment, it's a lifestyle. It's not a one-time thing, it's a habit. It's the daily grind, the relentless pursuit of progress, the hunger to grow, and the determination to keep moving forward, even when the odds are stacked against you. You see, talent gives you a head start, but hard work determines how far you go. A talented person with no discipline will eventually get beaten by a person who started with less talent but worked their heart out every single day. You ever wonder why some of the most successful athletes weren't the most naturally gifted? It's because they understood that talent without effort is a wasted blessing. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, was actually cut from his high school team. He wasn't born a champion, he became one. Not because of talent alone, but because of the hours he put in. The times he stayed after practice shooting thousands of shots. The mornings he woke up earlier than everyone else. The nights he worked when others rested. You want to know the real secret? Hard work isn't just about effort, it's about endurance. It's about staying committed long after the excitement wears off. Hard work is the thing that separates dreamers from doers. It's what turns potential into greatness. And the best part, hard work is a choice. You may not have been born with the most talent in the room, but you can decide to be the hardest worker. You can choose to outlast, outgrind, and outfight every single obstacle in your way. The world is filled with talented people who never did anything with their gift. You know them, the ones who had so much potential but never followed through. The ones who were supposed to be great but got distracted, got lazy, got comfortable. Don't let that be you. Let me tell you something, talent might impress people, but hard work earns respect. Talent might get you noticed, but hard work gets you results. Talent might open a door, but hard work is what keeps it open. So, if you're sitting there wondering, do I have what it takes? The answer is yes, if you're willing to work for it. Your talent doesn't define you, your work ethic does. Your grind does, your persistence does. If you want to win in life, stop relying on what you were born with and start building what you're willing to work for. Because in the end, it's not the most talented who succeed, it's the ones who refuse to be outworked. Hard work creates opportunities in a way that talent never will. You see, the world doesn't just hand out success based on potential. Nobody cares how naturally gifted you are if you don't put in the effort to sharpen that gift. You can have the voice of an angel, but if you never train, never practice, never put yourself out there, how will anyone know? You can have a brilliant mind, but if you never push yourself to learn, to study, to expand your knowledge, how will you ever turn intelligence into impact? Opportunities are not given, they are created. And the only way to create them is through work. When you show up consistently, when you pour effort into your craft, when you refuse to settle for mediocrity, you begin to attract doors that weren't even visible before. It's like digging for gold. Some people stand there and say, I wish I could find gold. Others pick up the tools and start digging. The ones who dig, who sweat, who push through exhaustion and frustration, they are the ones who strike gold. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they lack the patience to work for their breakthrough. They want instant success, immediate recognition, overnight fame. But let me tell you something, every great opportunity comes dressed in overalls and looks like hard work. You don't see the years of grinding, the nights of self-doubt, the sacrifices that were made. You only see the success, and that's why so many people get it twisted. They think, oh, that person got lucky. No, luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And preparation comes through relentless effort. Think about the biggest names in any industry, sports, business, music, technology. None of them just woke up successful. They put in the work when nobody was watching. They sacrificed comfort, sleep, and temporary pleasure for long-term gain. They created their own opportunities by showing up every single day, even when they didn't feel like it. A talented person who doesn't work will sit on the sidelines watching someone with less talent take their place. Because when an opportunity comes, the person who has been grinding, learning, evolving, they're ready. They don't have to scramble to prepare because they've been preparing all along. The person who has been waiting for the right moment will always be left behind by the person who was willing to work through every moment. Let me break it down for you. Hard work is like planting seeds. Every day you put in effort, you're planting something. You may not see the growth right away. You may not see the results immediately. But deep beneath the surface, something is happening. The roots are forming, the foundation is being built. And one day when the opportunity comes, boom, the tree bursts through the soil and everyone is amazed. But they didn't see the years of watering, the years of tending, the years of faith and work that went into it. If you are waiting for an opportunity, let me ask you this, what are you doing right now to prepare for it? Are you working as if the door is about to open? Are you sharpening your skills, strengthening your mind, disciplining your habits? Because when the opportunity comes, you won't have time to get ready. You have to be ready. And the only way to be ready is to put in the work when no one is watching. Stop sitting back waiting for someone to hand you success. Success is not given, it's earned. And the currency for that success is sweat, sacrifice, and unwavering commitment. Hard work creates opportunities because it forces the world to take notice of you. It forces people to see your dedication, your persistence, your hunger. It puts you in places where luck can find you. You want an opportunity? Start working, start grinding, start showing up every single day like your future depends on it, because it does. And when that door finally opens, you won't just walk through it, you'll consistency beats occasional brilliance, because success is not built on moments of inspiration, it's built on daily discipline. Anyone can have a great day. Anyone can show up once in a while with high energy, full motivation, and do something impressive. But the real question is, can you show up every day? Can you keep pushing forward when nobody is clapping for you? Can you continue grinding when the excitement fades, when motivation runs out, and when progress feels slow? That's where real success is made. So many people rely on their talent to carry them, thinking that because they have a natural ability, they can show up whenever they feel like it and still win. But talent without consistency is wasted potential. A naturally gifted runner who only trains once a month will always lose to the average runner who puts in the work every single day. A brilliant writer who only writes when they feel inspired will always be outperformed by the writer who sits down every morning and grinds through the process. Inspiration comes and goes, but consistency builds mastery. The people who rise to the top are not always the most talented, but they are always the most consistent. They are the ones who decide, I'm going to work on my craft every single day, no matter what. Rain or shine, tired or energized, inspired or uninspired, they put in the work. And because they keep showing up, they keep improving, they keep learning, they keep evolving. And over time, their daily efforts compound into something unstoppable. Think about it like this, a single drop of water doesn't seem like much. It's small and significant, but when water drips on a rock, over time it carves through solid stone. That's the power of consistency. Teeny efforts repeated over and over create massive change. But most people don't have the patience for that. They want immediate results. They work hard for a few weeks, don't see a huge difference, and then quit. What they don't realize is that the breakthrough always comes after a period of persistence. Imagine a person who wants to get in shape. They go to the gym for a week, work hard, eat clean, and expect to see huge changes. But after 7 days, they look in the mirror and don't see a dramatic difference. So they get discouraged. They think, maybe this isn't working, and they quit. What they don't understand is that transformation is happening beneath the surface. The muscles are growing, the body is adjusting, but the visible change hasn't appeared yet. The people who succeed are the ones who keep going even when they don't see immediate results because they trust the process. It's the same with any skill, any goal, any dream. If you want to be great at something, you have to show up consistently, not just when it's convenient, not just when you feel motivated, every single day. Because every time you show up, you're making progress, even if it's invisible at first. Every time you practice, you're getting better, even if it's just by 1%. And over time, that 1% improvement compounds into greatness. The problem with occasional brilliance is that it's unreliable. It's unpredictable. You might have one great day, but if you disappear for the next 3 weeks, what did that great day really accomplish? The world doesn't reward people who are good once in a while. It rewards those who prove themselves day after day. Consistency is what builds trust. It's what makes people believe in you. It's what creates real momentum. Think about the most successful people in any field. The greatest athletes don't just train when they feel like it, they train every day. The best musicians don't just practice when they're in the mood, they play their instrument for hours, every single day. The most successful entrepreneurs don't work hard for a few months and then take a break. They grind relentlessly year after year until they build something great. You have to ask yourself, are you treating your dreams with the respect they deserve? Are you showing up for yourself every day, or are you waiting for a perfect moment to give your best effort? Because if you're waiting for the perfect moment, let me tell you, it's never coming. The people who succeed are the ones who work through the imperfect moments, the ones who keep pushing even when they don't feel like it, the ones who show up even when no one is watching. This is what separates those who achieve greatness from those who just dream about it. Consistency is a mindset. It's a decision. It's waking up every morning and saying, I'm going to do the work no matter what. And when you commit to that, when you embrace the grind, when you become relentless in your pursuit, there is nothing that can stop you. So stop chasing moments of brilliance. Start building daily habits, because in the end, the person who puts in the work every day will always surpass the person who only shows up when they feel like it. And that's why consistency will always beat occasional brilliance. Grit trumps natural ability every single time, because life is not a smooth road where talent alone will carry you effortlessly to success. Life will test you, it will throw obstacles in your way, it will challenge you, break you, and push you to your limits. And when that happens, when things get tough, when setbacks come, when failure knocks on your door, talent won't save you. Talent won't get you up in the morning after you've been knocked down. Talent won't force you to keep going when everything in you wants to quit. But grit will. Grit is the ability to keep going no matter what. It is the fire inside you that refuses to be put out, the determination that refuses to let failure be the final chapter. Grit is what separates the people who achieve greatness from the people who give up when things don't go their way. Because the truth is, talent can make things easier at first, but it doesn't guarantee long-term success. If talent was all it took, then the most naturally gifted people would always be the most successful. But look around. That's not the case. History is filled with stories of talented people who never lived up to their potential. Why? Because they didn't have the grit to push through the struggles. Hard times come for everyone. You will face rejection. You will fail. You will have moments where you question yourself, where you wonder if you're even capable of succeeding. That's when grit steps in. Grit says, I don't care how hard this is, I'm not giving up. Grit says, I may not be the most talented, but I will outwork, outlast, and outfight everyone else in the room. Grit is what makes the difference between someone who almost made it and someone who actually did. The most successful people in the world weren't always the most talented, but they were always the most relentless. Think about it. How many times did Thomas Edison fail before inventing the light bulb? Thousands. How many times did Michael Jordan miss the winning shot? Hundreds. How many times did great entrepreneurs have their ideas rejected before finally making it big? Over and over again, but they kept going. That's grit. They refused to quit when the world told them no. Most people think success is about being gifted. But what happens when a talented person faces adversity? If they've never had to struggle, if they've always relied on their talent to make things easy, they won't know how to push through when things get hard. They'll get frustrated. They'll lose confidence. They'll walk away. But the person with grit, they have already built the muscle of persistence. They know what it's like to struggle, to fight, to claw their way forward. And because of that, they keep moving even when the odds are against them. Grit is not glamorous, it's not flashy, it's not something people always notice, but it is what gets results. It's waking up early to work on your dreams while everyone else is still sleeping. It's staying late, putting in the extra effort, doing what others won't. It's going through failure after failure and still believing in yourself. It's pushing forward when no one believes in you, when no one is cheering for you, when no one is giving you a chance. Talent might make you look good in the beginning, but grit determines how far you'll actually go. It's the person who refuses to quit that wins in the end. Grit is what allows you to turn failure into a lesson instead of a stopping point. It's what keeps you standing when life tries to knock you down. It's what turns ordinary people into extraordinary success stories. So ask yourself, when life gets hard, will you crumble or will you rise? Will you let obstacles define you or will you push through them? Because in the real world, it's not the most talented who succeed. It's the ones who refuse to give up. The ones who keep going no matter what. The ones with grit. And that can be you, if you're willing to fight for it. Effort is the great equalizer, because in the real world, talent alone doesn't win. Effort does. Talent is just a starting point. It might give you an initial advantage, a small head start, but it will never carry you to greatness on its own. The person who puts in the most effort, the person who is willing to outwork, outlearn, and outlast everyone else, will always come out on top. Effort levels the playing field. It takes away excuses. It eliminates the idea that only the gifted can succeed, because if you are willing to work harder than anyone else, if you are willing to push past limits and refuse to stop, there is no way you won't rise to the top. Look at the most successful people in any field, the best athletes, the top entrepreneurs, the most influential leaders. Yes, many of them had talent, but what really set them apart was their effort. They worked when others rested. They trained when others were comfortable. They studied, practiced, and repeated their craft over and over again, long after the talented ones had given up. Effort is what took them from average to unstoppable. A talented person who refuses to put in effort will always be surpassed by a person with less talent but more drive. Because effort compounds over time. Every extra hour you spend working on your skills, every extra rep you put in at the gym, every extra book you read to gain knowledge, it all adds up. One day, that person who worked harder, who refused to take shortcuts, will outshine the naturally gifted person who relied on their talent alone. Effort is the thing that separates those who dream from those who achieve. How many people do you know who have big dreams, who talk about what they want to do, who have incredible ideas, but never follow through? They wait for the perfect moment. They rely on their natural abilities, hoping things will just fall into place. But success doesn't happen that way. It doesn't just show up at your doorstep because you were born talented. You have to go out and chase it. You have to be relentless. You have to be willing to put in more hours, take more risks, and keep pushing forward when others get tired and give up. Think about the hardest working person you know, the one who grinds every single day, the one who doesn't complain, doesn't make excuses, but just keeps pushing. That person, whether they started out with talent or not, will always be the one who succeeds. Because effort beats talent when talent refuses to work. Effort is also the thing that builds confidence. When you put in the work, when you push yourself beyond what you thought was possible, you develop a belief in yourself that no one can take away. Confidence doesn't come from talent, it comes from preparation. When you've put in the time, when you've gone through the struggle, when you've shown up for yourself day after day, you walk into any situation knowing you belong there. There is something powerful about being the hardest worker in the room. There is something unstoppable about knowing that no one out there is willing to push as hard as you are. That's where real success is found, not in waiting for luck, not in hoping your talent will be enough, but in doing the work every single day until there is no question that you deserve to win. Effort is also the one thing you can control. You may not be the smartest person in the room, you may not be the most naturally gifted, but you can always control how hard you work. You can always choose to give more, to push further, to stay later, to wake up earlier. That's why effort is the great equalizer. It takes away the excuse that you weren't born with it. You don't need to be born with it. You just need to be willing to work for it. The truth is, life is going to test you. You will face challenges, obstacles, and moments where you feel like quitting. That's where effort comes in. It's not about how talented you are. It's about how much fight you have inside you. It's about how much you're willing to sacrifice, how much you're willing to give, how much you're willing to push yourself beyond what's comfortable. Because at the end of the day, talent fades. Natural ability only takes you so far, but effort is what turns ordinary people into extraordinary success stories. So ask yourself, are you relying on talent, or are you putting in the effort to be the best? Because if you're not willing to outwork everyone else, then you will always be at the mercy of someone who is. The good news, you have a choice. You can choose to give more. You can choose to push harder. You can choose to be relentless. And if you make that choice, if you commit to effort above all else, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. Discipline outlasts talent because talent is unreliable without the structure to sustain it. Talent is a gift, but discipline is a choice. A person can be born with all the natural ability in the world, but if they lack the discipline to develop and sharpen it, that talent will never reach its full potential. Talent alone is inconsistent. It fluctuates with mood, circumstances, and convenience. But discipline is unwavering. It is the engine that drives success long after motivation has disappeared. It is the force that keeps you showing up even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what turns potential into mastery. The world is full of people with potential, brilliant minds, gifted athletes, naturally talented musicians. But what separates those who succeed from those who remain stagnant is their level of discipline. Discipline means doing the work when no one is watching. It means sacrificing distractions, delaying gratification, and prioritizing growth over comfort. It means choosing long-term success over short-term pleasure. Most people rely on talent because it feels easy. When something comes naturally, there's no urgency to work harder at it. It's tempting to believe that talent alone will always carry you, but sooner or later you will face someone with just as much, if not more, natural ability, and if they are more disciplined than you, they will surpass you. The athlete who practices every day will always outperform the one who relies on their natural skills alone. The writer who commits to writing daily will become better than the one who only writes when inspiration strikes. The entrepreneur who puts in the hours consistently will build something greater than the one who only works when they feel like it. The power of discipline is that it removes emotion from the equation. Motivation comes and goes. Some days you will wake up excited and driven. Other days you will feel exhausted and uninspired. If you only work when you feel like it, you will never achieve greatness. The most successful people in the world don't wait to feel motivated. They don't make decisions based on fleeting emotions. They show up no matter what. They train when they're tired. They practice when they're uninspired. They push through when everything in them wants to quit. That's discipline. Discipline is what allows you to endure when the journey gets tough. And make no mistake, every journey gets tough. There will be failures. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when you question if all the effort is even worth it. Talent won't help you in those moments. In fact, talent can sometimes be a curse because people who have relied on it their whole lives often don't know how to handle adversity. But discipline thrives in adversity. Discipline doesn't back down. It says, I don't care how hard this is, I am going to keep going. Discipline also creates momentum. The more you commit to your craft, the more you develop a routine, the more you reinforce good habits, the easier it becomes to stay on track. A disciplined person doesn't waste time debating whether or not they should do something, they just do it. They don't need to feel like working out, practicing, or studying. It becomes automatic. And over time, this consistency compounds into mastery. The truth is, discipline is rare. Most people aren't willing to put in the consistent effort required to be great. They want shortcuts. They want quick results. They want to avoid discomfort. But those who embrace discipline, who commit to the process, who refuse to let distractions or excuses derail them, they are the ones who rise to the top. Imagine two people starting at the same point. One is naturally talented but inconsistent. The other has average talent but is highly disciplined. Over time, the disciplined person will improve faster, gain more experience, and surpass the naturally talented one. Because every day, while the talented person is waiting to feel inspired, the disciplined person is grinding, learning, evolving. This is why discipline is the ultimate competitive advantage. It gives you control over your own success. It ensures that even on your worst days, you are still making progress. It allows you to maximize your potential and go further than you ever thought possible. So if you want to achieve greatness, stop relying on talent, build discipline, train yourself to be consistent, to push through discomfort, to work even when you don't feel like it. Because in the end, talent fades, motivation disappears, but discipline lasts forever. Consistency is the most underrated superpower in the world. It is not flashy, it is not exciting. It does not get immediate applause. But it is the one thing that separates those who achieve greatness from those who live in mediocrity. It is the small, seemingly insignificant daily actions that over time create unstoppable momentum. It is the discipline to keep going when no one is watching, when no one is cheering, when no one even believes in you. Most people are obsessed with results. They want success now. They want the big breakthrough. They want to wake up one day and have everything they ever dreamed of. But what they fail to understand is that success is not an event, it is a process. It is not about one big moment, one lucky break, or one genius idea. It is about the countless hours, days, months, and years of relentless consistency. It is about doing the work even when you don't see immediate results. The reason so many people fail is not because they lack talent, intelligence, or resources. It is because they lack consistency. They start strong. They are full of motivation, full of energy, ready to take on the world. But then life happens. They get distracted. They get discouraged. They miss a day, then two, then three. And before they know it, they have abandoned their goals entirely. They convince themselves that they will start again someday. But someday never comes. The truth is, consistency is the bridge between goals and achievements. It is what turns potential into reality. It is what transforms dreams into accomplishments. The best in the world, whether it is in sports, business, art, or any field, are not necessarily the most talented. They are the ones who showed up every day. They are the ones who did the work when no one was looking. They are the ones who kept going when everyone else quit. Think about it. If you wrote just one page every day, by the end of a year, you would have written a full-length book. If you exercised for just 30 minutes a day, you would be in the best shape of your life within months. If you committed to learning a new skill for just an hour a day, you would become an expert within a few years. The problem is, most people don't see the immediate payoff, so they give up before they ever reap the rewards. The world rewards those who stay the course, the ones who keep pushing forward, the ones who refuse to let distractions, failures, or temporary setbacks knock them off track. Because here's the truth, there will always be setbacks. There will always be days when you don't feel like doing the work. There will always be moments when you question whether it is worth it. But the people who succeed are the ones who push through anyway. Consistency is not about perfection. It is not about never failing, never making mistakes, never having bad days. It is about refusing to let those moments define you. One missed workout does not ruin your fitness journey. One bad day does not erase all your progress. One failure does not mean you are incapable of success. What matters is that you get back on track. What matters is that you don't let a temporary slip become a permanent excuse. Every great success story is built on a foundation of consistency. The greatest athletes, the most successful entrepreneurs, the most brilliant artists, they all understand the power of showing up every day. They do not rely on motivation. They do not wait for inspiration to strike. They do not make excuses. They have built habits. They have built discipline. They have committed to the process no matter what. The compound effect of consistency is unstoppable. The small efforts you make every day may not seem like much in the moment, but over time, they add up in ways you cannot even imagine. The person who reads for 30 minutes a day may not feel different after a week, but after a year, they will have an entirely level of knowledge. The entrepreneur who works on their business every single day may not see immediate profits, but over time, they will build something that changes their life. The artist who practices daily may not notice improvement overnight, but one day they will wake up and realize that they have become a master of their craft. The biggest enemy of consistency is impatience. People expect results too quickly. They want to see instant success, and when it does not come, they get discouraged and quit. But success is not instant. It is a long game. It requires faith. It requires trust in the process. It requires an understanding that every small action, every repetition, every day you show up is bringing you closer to your goal, even if you can't see it yet. This is why so few people achieve greatness, because consistency is hard. It is not glamorous. It is not fun every day. It requires doing the work when you don't feel like it. It requires pushing through boredom, fatigue, and frustration. It requires saying no to distractions, to comfort, to the easy way out. But the reward for consistency is beyond anything you can imagine. It is the power to create the life you want. It is the ability to take control of your destiny. It is the satisfaction of knowing that you are getting better every single day, even if no one else sees it yet. It is the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are doing what most people won't do. So ask yourself, are you committed to consistency, or are you just chasing quick results? Are you willing to put in the work every single day, even when it feels like nothing is happening? Are you willing to trust the process, to believe in the compound effect, to keep going even when progress is invisible? Because if you truly commit to consistency, there is nothing you cannot achieve. One day you will look back and realize that all those small efforts, all those seemingly insignificant daily actions were the reason you succeeded. And the best part, everyone else will think it happened overnight. But you will know the truth. You will know that it was not luck, not talent, not magic. It was the relentless, unstoppable power of consistency. Hard work sharpens talent. Talent is a raw material, a block of marble waiting to be sculpted. And without the chisel of relentless effort, it remains just that, an unshaped possibility. Hard work is the process of refining, perfecting, and elevating talent beyond its natural state, turning it into something powerful and unstoppable. It is the force that takes what you were given at birth and transforms it into something remarkable. Without hard work, talent remains potential, and potential alone has never won championships, built empires, or created legacies. So many people believe that talent is enough. They believe that if they are naturally gifted at something, they do not have to put in the same effort as everyone else. They assume that because they were born with an ability, success will simply fall into their laps. But talent without hard work is like a high-performance car without fuel. It may look impressive, it may have all the right features, but without the fuel of effort and discipline, it will never reach its destination. Hard work takes talent and forces it to evolve. It pushes it beyond its limits, beyond its comfort zone, beyond what it originally was. Every great athlete, artist, entrepreneur, and innovator started with some degree of talent, but what made them great was not their natural ability. It was the countless hours they spent honing, refining, and expanding that ability. They practiced when they didn't feel like it. They trained when they were exhausted. They studied when others were relaxing. They pushed themselves further than anyone else because they understood a fundamental truth: talent alone does not guarantee success. Hard work does. Think about the greatest athletes of all time. Yes, they were born with talent, but what set them apart was their work ethic. The ones who truly dominate their fields are the ones who outwork their competition. They are the ones who wake up earlier, train longer, and refuse to accept anything less than mastery. There are countless stories of athletes who were naturally gifted but never reached their potential because they relied too much on their talent. They thought they didn't need to put in the same effort as others, and as a result, they were eventually surpassed by those who were willing to work harder. The same principle applies in every field. The world is full of talented musicians who never made it because they didn't practice enough. It is full of brilliant minds who never achieved greatness because they didn't put in the effort to sharpen their intelligence. It is full of entrepreneurs with million-dollar ideas who never executed them because they were not willing to put in the years of hard work required to bring those ideas to life. Talent is only valuable when it is backed by relentless effort. Hard work not only refines talent, but also reveals new levels of ability. When you work hard at something, you push yourself beyond what you thought you were capable of. You develop new skills, you discover strengths you didn't know you had, and you expand your capacity for greatness. Every time you put in effort, you are not just reinforcing what you already know, you are stretching yourself, growing, evolving. The person who commits to working hard every day does not just maintain their talent, they elevate it to an entirely new level. The reason hard work beats talent is that talent alone has limitations. Natural ability will only take you so far. But when you combine talent with hard work, there are no limits. You become unstoppable. You become someone who is not only gifted, but also disciplined, relentless, and committed. And that combination is unbeatable. Hard work also builds resilience. When you rely only on talent, the first major obstacle you face can shatter you. But when you have built your success through relentless effort, through daily discipline, through years of pushing yourself beyond your limits, you become unbreakable. You develop the kind of mental toughness that allows you to keep going when things get difficult. You learn how to overcome setbacks, how to push through failures, how to adapt and keep moving forward. People who rely solely on talent often crumble under pressure because they have never had to struggle, never had to push through adversity. But those who have worked hard, who have built themselves through effort and discipline, have already faced and conquered obstacles along the way. They know how to handle setbacks. They know how to get back up after failure. And that resilience gives them a massive advantage over those who have only relied on their natural abilities. Hard work also creates consistency, and consistency is the foundation of greatness. You cannot reach the top by occasionally putting in effort. You cannot become the best at what you do by only working hard when you feel like it. Success requires sustained effort over long periods of time. It requires showing up every day, putting in the hours, grinding when no one is watching. The people who rise to the top are not always the most talented, but they are always the most consistent. They are the ones who keep pushing forward, keep putting in the work, keep improving day after day, year after year. This is why so many talented people fail. They are inconsistent. They work hard when they feel like it, but they do not have the discipline to maintain that effort over time. But the person who commits to hard work every single day, who treats their craft with the same level of intensity, whether they feel motivated or not, will always surpass those who rely on talent alone. Because at the end of the day, hard work compounds. It builds on itself, and over time it creates results that talent alone could never achieve. So if you have talent, do not waste it. Do not assume that it will be enough. Do not fall into the trap of believing that you can rely on your natural ability and still achieve greatness. Use your talent, but back it up with relentless effort. Treat it like a foundation, not a finished product. Because no matter how talented you are, if someone else is willing to work harder than you, they will surpass you. But here's the good news: hard work is a choice. Talent is something you are born with, but effort is something you control. You have the power to outwork anyone. You have the power to build up your skills, to sharpen your abilities, to push yourself beyond your limits. And if you are willing to put in the work, if you are willing to dedicate yourself fully, if you are willing to commit to the process, then there is no limit to what you can achieve. Because in the end, talent may open the door, but hard work is what walks through it. Talent may get you noticed, but hard work is what keeps you at the top. Talent may give you a head start, but hard work is what wins the race. And when talent and hard work go head to head, hard work wins every single time. Sacrifice is the price of greatness. It is the currency that must be paid in full, upfront, and without guarantees. There is no success without sacrifice. There's no lasting achievement, no true mastery, no world-changing impact without a willingness to give up what is easy, what is comfortable, and what is ordinary. The ones who rise to the top, the ones who build legacies, the ones who defy the odds and rewrite history, they are the ones who made the decision to let go of temporary pleasures for the sake of something greater. Sacrifice is painful. It is uncomfortable. It is lonely. It is filled with moments where you question whether it is all worth it. It means giving up time, energy, and resources that could be spent on things that bring instant gratification. It means saying no when everyone else is saying yes. It means walking away from distractions, toxic relationships, meaningless entertainment, and anything else that does not align with your ultimate vision. Because success does not come without a cost. And the question is, are you willing to pay it? The world is full of people who want success but are not willing to sacrifice for it. They want the rewards, but they do not want to endure the process. They want the results, but they are not willing to put in the effort required to earn them. They want to be in shape, but they are not willing to sacrifice junk food and laziness. They want to build a business, but they are not willing to sacrifice sleep and comfort. They want financial freedom, but they are not willing to sacrifice unnecessary spending and bad habits. They want to be great, but they are not willing to sacrifice what is keeping them average. Every champion, every icon, every legend has a story of sacrifice. The early mornings, the late nights, the missed parties, the rejected invitations. The discipline to stay focused when the world was full of distractions. The courage to walk a lonely path when others were chasing short-term happiness. The willingness to endure pain, discomfort, and setbacks because the dream was worth more than the sacrifice. Most people give up because they are not willing to endure temporary pain for long-term success. They choose comfort over progress. They choose distraction over discipline. They choose excuses over execution. But the truth is, you cannot have it both ways. You cannot have the life of your dreams while holding on to the habits that keep you stuck. You cannot become the best version of yourself while clinging to the things that make you weak. You must choose. You must decide what matters more, your future or your temporary comfort. Sacrifice does not mean suffering without purpose. It's not about depriving yourself for the sake of it. It is about making intentional choices that align with your highest goals. It is about cutting out everything that does not serve your purpose. It is about letting go of everything that is holding you back. It is about understanding that success requires a level of focus and commitment that most people are unwilling to give. There will be moments when sacrifice feels unbearable, when you see others enjoying the things you have given up. When doubt creeps in, whispering that you are missing out, that you are wasting your time, that you should take the easy way out. But those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments that separate the average from the elite. Because the ones who endure, the ones who stay committed, despite the pain, despite the loneliness, despite the temptation to quit, those are the ones who achieve greatness. Success requires you to give up things that others are unwilling to let go of. It requires you to be different. It requires you to walk away from the crowd, from the distractions, from the noise. It requires you to embrace discipline like a warrior, to see sacrifice not as a burden, but as a privilege. Because every sacrifice you make brings you one step closer to your goal. Every time you say no to something that does not align with your vision, you are saying yes to the life you were meant to live. Many people believe they can achieve success without making real sacrifices. They look for shortcuts. They chase overnight success. They seek ways to get results without doing the work. But there is no escaping the truth. If you are not willing to sacrifice, you are not willing to succeed. The level of your success will always be equal to the level of your sacrifice. The more you are willing to give up, the more you will gain. So what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice your excuses, your bad habits, your distractions, your need for instant gratification? Are you willing to sacrifice temporary pleasures for permanent success? Because if you are not, then you will never reach your full potential. You will always be stuck in a cycle of wanting more but never doing what it takes to get it. But if you are willing to sacrifice, if you are willing to give up what is unnecessary for what is essential, if you are willing to endure the pain, the discomfort, the isolation, then there is nothing that can stop you. You will become unstoppable. You will become a force of nature. You will look back one day and realize that every sacrifice was worth it, that every moment of discipline led you to the life you were meant to live. Because success is not about luck. It is not about talent alone. It is about sacrifice. It is about the willingness to do what others will not do so that you can live a life that others will never have. And the question is, how badly do you want it? Because if you want it bad enough, you will be willing to pay the price. And when you do, the rewards will be far greater than anything you ever gave up. Mindset is everything. It is the foundation upon which every success, every achievement, every breakthrough is built. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world. It is the filter that determines whether you see obstacles or opportunities, whether you believe in possibilities or limitations, whether you push forward or give up. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is not just talent, resources, or connections, it is mindset. Because your mind is the command center of your life, and whatever you allow to take root in your thoughts will eventually manifest in your reality. A weak mindset sees failure as a reason to quit. A strong mindset sees failure as feedback, as a lesson, as a necessary step towards success. A weak mindset is easily discouraged by setbacks. A strong mindset is fueled by them. A weak mindset waits for motivation. A strong mindset relies on discipline. The way you think determines everything about your life. It determines how you handle adversity, how you respond to challenges, how you pursue your dreams. And the truth is, most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack the right mindset. If you believe that you are destined to fail, that the odds are against you, that you are not capable of achieving greatness, then you will prove yourself right. You will find every excuse to stay small. You will see every difficulty as confirmation that success is not meant for you. You will allow self-doubt to cripple you before you even get started. But if you believe that you are capable, that you have what it takes, that you can overcome anything that stands in your way, then nothing will be able to stop you. Because the mind leads and the body follows. The moment you shift your mindset, you shift your results. A strong mindset does not come naturally. It must be built, trained, reinforced every single day. It is developed through adversity, through struggle, through the decision to keep going even everything inside you wants to quit. It is built by feeding your mind with powerful thoughts, by surrounding yourself with people who challenge and inspire you, by refusing to entertain negativity, fear, or self-doubt. Just like a muscle, your mindset grows stronger the more you train it. And if you do not actively train your mind, the world will train it for you with fear, with limitations, with mediocrity. Most people do not fail because they are not capable. They fail because they never fully commit. They allow their fears to dictate their actions. They hesitate. They second guess themselves. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, the perfect conditions. But a strong mindset knows that there is no such thing as the perfect time. The only time is now. The only option is to take action, to move forward, to create momentum, to trust that growth happens in the process. Your mindset determines how you see challenges. Do you see them as barriers or as opportunities? A weak mindset looks at a challenge and says, "This is too hard." A strong mindset looks at the same challenge and says, "This is my chance to grow." A weak mindset avoids difficulty. A strong mindset embraces it because growth does not happen in comfort. Strength is not built in easy times. Diamonds are only created under pressure, and the strongest minds are forged in the fire of adversity. A strong mindset is not afraid of failure. It understands that failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of success. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of failures, mistakes, and setbacks. The people who succeed are not the ones who never fail, they are the ones who never give up. They use failure as a lesson. They extract wisdom from every mistake. They understand that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Your mindset also determines your habits, your routines, your level of discipline. A weak mindset is driven by feelings. It only works when it feels like it, when it is convenient, when it is easy. A strong mindset is driven by commitment. It works even when it does not feel like it, even when it is hard, even when there is no immediate reward. Because success is not built on motivation alone. It is built on habits, on consistency, on doing the work day in and day out. Most people never reach their full potential because they are trapped in a fixed mindset. They believe that their abilities are set, that their intelligence is limited, that they cannot grow beyond what they were given. But a growth mindset knows that anything can be developed, skills can be learned, strength can be built. Intelligence can be expanded. A growth mindset understands that nothing is fixed except the limits you place on yourself. The truth is, the most powerful weapon you have is not your talent, not your resources, not your background, it is your mind. And the most dangerous thing you can do is allow a weak mindset to control your life. If you want to succeed, if you want to rise, if you want to achieve things that others only dream of, then you must guard your mind like yours. You must train it, discipline it, fuel it with thoughts that empower you. You must refuse to entertain doubt, fear, or excuses, because at the end of the day, the only thing standing between you and your goals is the mindset you choose. And when you choose a strong mindset, nothing in this world can hold you back. Epps. Oh, I ask you today, what kind of mindset will you choose? Will you let fear control you, or will you stand in the power of your own potential? Will you let excuses hold you back, or will you push through every obstacle with relentless determination? Will you settle for a life of mediocrity, or will you rise to the challenge and demand more from yourself? The choice is yours. No one can build your mindset for you. No one can do the work for you. No one can force you to think like a winner. That is something you must decide for yourself. But know this, every great achievement, every legendary success story, every unstoppable individual was once where you are now. Faced with a choice, faced with the decision to give in or push forward, to think small or dream big, to hesitate or take action. And the ones who chose strength, who chose discipline, who chose belief over doubt, those are the ones who changed their lives. Those are the ones who wrote history. Those are the ones who proved that mindset is the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. So step into your power. Train your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Reject weakness, reject doubt, reject anything that tells you that you cannot. You are stronger than you think. You are more capable than you believe. You have more potential than you have ever realized. And when you finally unlock the full force of your mindset, there will be nothing, absolutely nothing that can stop you.